by the water.
Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Welcome to the show, y'all. Now look, things are going so great for Teresa and Terrence that they plan on trying to buy another house, right? Because they want to expand their family, right? She wants to have a baby with Terrence. She wants to have another baby. And they set Cheryl down to talk to her about it and see what she thinks about it, because they think that, maybe a brother or sister around the house will help her. You know what I'm saying? So she won't be so alone and she'll feel part of the family if they have this conversation with her, right? But it has the opposite effects. It backfires. It makes Cheryl feel as though that they're further pushing her away. They're trying to replace her, with another child now. And she's like, not understanding any of this, and the parents, they don't understand why she's so upset. So she storms out, right? But they don't have any idea what lifestyle she's been living. They don't see what's been going on with her. They don't see that she's being manipulated and used, and she's hurting, and everybody around her, in her mind, is taking advantage of her. They don't see that. They don't see the pain on her face. They think it's just about her father passing away, and it's been some time now, and she's still struggling. Still struggling. But see, trauma ain't got no expiration date on it. It lasts as long as it lasts, you understand? And if you don't find a way to cope with it, get some therapy, get some help, whatever, if you don't do any of those types of things, guess what? That behavior will continue to spiral out of control, y'all. So if you need some help, get some help. You feel me? Now here's the thing. A lot of people in Cheryl's position would turn to dope. But she didn't. She didn't turn to using. She just became more involved in what she was doing, being promiscuous and all of this and that, right? And her 18th birthday was coming up. And it was within a few months of her boyfriend getting out. And she had already made it up in her mind, when she turns 18, she graduates from high school, she's gone. She's leaving this behind. She thinks that if she leaves all of the places and the people that have caused her so much pain, she thinks that she will get it right. She can get better. She can heal. She knows something wrong. She just don't know what to do, and she don't have nobody that she can trust to talk to. Nobody. So she visits her boyfriend again with her father, and of course, she takes the pack up there to him. She's become a seasoned at it now. She's a pro at it now. It's like not a big deal to her, right? But let me tell you something. When people act like stuff like that is not a big deal to them, it's not because they've gotten used to it. They've gotten numb to it. So remember that. They don't really understand or feel the consequences of what they're doing anymore. And that's where she's at. It's become routine for her, but her boyfriend sees it as like she with the game now. Her boyfriend's daddy sees it as like she ready now. All of these different types of things, with he's sick. You understand what I'm saying? This is a baby to him, and it's his boyfriend's. It's his son's girlfriend, right? I'm sure y'all understand where I'm coming from. But see, he's been watching her all of this time, and every time that she gets ready to go to visit and put the pack in, he makes sure she does it in front of him and all this and that, right? And because she had grown what appeared to be comfortable in doing it, he took it as if she was with it. She wasn't with it. Again, she was numb to it. So he told her, he said, look, I'm going to throw you a party on your 18th birthday. I'm going to invite some friends over, tell me who you want to be there and all this and that, right? And we're going to have your part over at the house, right? Now, keep in mind, her boyfriend still won't be out at this time. He got a couple of more months to go. So she takes his father up on what he says. But something in her mind, in the back of her mind, tells her this ain't what he's saying. This ain't it. This ain't that. But she goes with the move anyway, y'all. She goes on with the move anyway. And he throws her a party. when she shows up, he's got decorations everywhere and running around, got little entree meals sitting around and all this and that. He's getting her to help and all this kind of stuff, right? And he's preparing a dinner for her and all this and that, the food and stuff like that, so that it looks like it's going to be a lot of people there. Looks like there's going to be some people there, right? And now, these are mostly people that he knows because she don't really have friends like that, But guess what? Didn't nobody show up. He didn't invite anybody. And after about 15 or 20 minutes, she figures it out. And she looks at him. And she says, "Why did you do this to me?" And he walks casually up to her. And he said, "You know what it is." And she said, "But you didn't have to do it this way." Because see, in her mind, this was another disappointment. Yeah, she didn't have a lot of friends. She didn't know a lot of people, but she thought this was going to be something that she could start her new life with. A fresh start. Have a party. But now, he had something more sinister on his mind. Now, I'm not going to go into the details about it and all this and that, right? But she went on with the move. She felt trapped. She felt as though this is all she had. This is what her value was, right? So she said, "I'm going to give it to him." And when she did that, his whole agenda was to turn her all the way out. He wanted her mind, not her body. This dirty person. He played her. He used her. He didn't care about where her mind was going to go, y'all. He didn't care about what it was going to do to her. He didn't care about his son, right? So what that she was promiscuous? What business is that of his? So what that she was doing that for his son? He had no right, y'all. He was playing with a child's mind. And he knew that. And her self-worth did just like the stock exchange. It dropped. She lay there, no emotion, no nothing. She lay there. And when he was done, she left, went home, and she did what she would normally do. She cried, y'all. She got in the shower and she cried silently to herself. And the pain was too familiar to her. She didn't know what to do with all of that. And Terrence, he happened to be walking by her room. And he thought he heard her in there crying. So he knocks on the door. And when he knocks on the door, she answers and says, "Yeah." And he says, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm okay." But Terrence knew what it sounded like when somebody was crying. So he said, "I'm coming in." So he opened the door and she was in bed like a little kid. And he saw that she had tears on her face. So he left the door open. He left the door wide open and he turned on the light. And he sat at the edge of the bed, not near her, but at the back end of the bed. And he said, "Talk to me. I know you don't like me much, but talk to me. Tell me what's wrong." And for some odd reason, it all came pouring out. She told him about how she missed her father, how she felt that he was replacing her, and how them wanting another child was replacing her. She told him about her boyfriend in juvie. She told him about her boyfriend's dad. She told him everything. And she cried and she cried. And the more she told him, the closer he got to her. And he just hugged her. And he said, "It's going to be okay." And the whole time that he was sitting on that bed talking to her, her mother was standing outside in the hall. And she heard it all. And she wept. And she wept. And if you want to know the rest of this story as it continues to unfold, you're going to have to tune in to the next episode, right? Because it's going to get better. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all. I've been trying to breathe underwater.